Hello, everyone. I'm just going to wait until more people connect before I start. Thank you for joining.
Okay, thank you.
I think everyone's audio is connected now. So good afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I'm Charlie. I've been working with Ideal Homes, selling properties in Portugal for over 5 years. Today I'm going to be doing an exclusive webinar on Silves Hills, which we only listed weeks, so you are the first to know about it. So I'm going to pass you over to John, Carrie, and Sasha in a moment. But I just want to say, if anything cuts out, then we apologize. It's because there's a high volume of people with us today, and the Wi-Fi can only handle so much. And also throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and then we'll answer them at the end. So over to Carrie and John. You're muted. John, you're muted. Carrie. Yeah.
Hi, thank you, Charlie. And thank you everyone for joining the webinar today. I'm John Baker Malpass. I'm a sales consultant here. And you often see our YouTube videos, IHTV. I present and promote videos on there quite a lot. And today I'm joined by Carrie, who is my partner in crime, I often say, on there as well.
Yes, indeed.
And you're an expert on this development area, aren't you? You know it very well.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the area in just a little bit, but firstly, let me introduce myself. And John also will tell you a little bit more about himself, and Sasha will be coming in a second. So my name's Carrie Marie Bradley. I'm a writer, I'm a travel writer, and I've lived here in Portugal for over 30 years. I know it very well, and the area that we're going to be talking about today, I also know especially well because I am a resident in the area. So it's a great pleasure to be able to talk about Silves. And John, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, as I said, I do sales consultants here, but we've got into IHTV on YouTube, which is promoting products and lifestyle around the Algarve. Worked for Ideal Homes now for 10 years. Time does fly. And lots of people are very happy with Ideal Homes. We offer a great service. It's a very personal service. And we work slightly different to other real estate agents. I feel our clients are our friends and family.
Indeed, yeah. And we'll be bringing Sasha in now. So Sasha, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
All right, there again. I'm sorry, I was muted.
Hi, Sasha.
I'm Sasha Sharpley. I'm a senior property consultant, and I guess I would be the go-to person for clients who are looking at understanding capital appreciation on a particular property or the market in general, rental income possibilities, and I specialize particularly in off-plan developments. I've been living in the Algarve for 40 years, 10 years I've been working with Ideal Homes. Funnily enough, I started on the same day as John did.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
So we're both long in the tooth. But I have to say that I feel absolutely privileged to live here, and I don't think I'd live anywhere else in the world.
So now we're going to take you to Silves, which is the region where this development that we're so excited to bring to you today is located. Silves, I'm very fond of Silves. So it is actually one of the oldest capitals. It is the former capital of the Algarve, a former Moorish capital, and it has one of the best preserved castles in Portugal. The castle is believed to date back to circa the 4th, 5th centuries. So that may be how people recognize Silves, because its castle is iconic. It crowns the town. Silves is a very up-and-coming area. A lot of investment and development has been taking shape over the past 5-10 years even, that I've seen since I've been there. And it's a very family-orientated, very dynamic, very vibrant town, where They have a lovely riverside area, supermarkets. There's plenty for people to do and see. Lots of little international restaurants, wine bars, tapas bars. And it's also really well connected to the motorway. So the nearest A22 motorway or to Lisbon access would be possibly maybe not even a 10-minute drive away. International schools nearby, lots of local leisure facilities. There's a municipal swimming pool. And of course, Silves is also known as the orange capital because of the amount of orange groves that we have, which give it such an amazing scent in orange season. So those are also many exciting things to discover. There's the Medieval Festival, which is one of Portugal's most famous festivals, especially of the summer agenda. It has a beer festival. It has an orange festival. And if there's no festival going on, there's always a reason to celebrate in Silves. So I strongly recommend people get familiar with Silves, do a little bit of research. And of course, we're always here to offer more information. And John now is going to take us to the main core of this webinar, which is where we'll start to explore the developments, the beautiful developments that is Silves Hills, and tell you more specifically about that. And also we'll be happy to take your questions at the end. Any lifestyle information, location information, drop it into the chat.
Well, the development in brief is going to be about 154 detached villas. They'll all have their own swimming pool, which are heated as well. It's in what I will call the most beautiful part of Silves in nature. And we have done a video, which you can check out on YouTube. That's on now as well. But what I love about it is you're not a million miles away from nature. As you say, Silves have got so many things going on there. But you're literally, I would say it's about 1 kilometre, maximum 2 kilometres to the other side of Silves. So you're in the nature, you're in the countryside, but you're near everything. And one of the great things about the area is everything Carrie says is first class. I agree, but there's also things like golf, if you like sport, golf, Portimao racetrack. Its location, as they say, location is second to none. So it's worth really looking at this. It's one special project.
And we're very excited today to have the developers join us. They'll be coming in a little bit later. And John is now going to introduce us, in fact, to the rest of the panel.
Well, we've got the developers, obviously, and we've also got a respected lawyer that we've used for many, many years, and that's Marissa. She will guide you through the buying process, everything to do with the legalities and purchasing any property in Portugal. And also we have our mortgage team. We'll have Nicholas with us, and Nicholas will be here to discuss the mortgages with Sasha as well. So you can actually get mortgage rates here at the moment from 2.9%. So well worth even using the bank's money rather than your own money. So those are there.
Okay, so now we'd like to bring in our developers who will be giving a brief introduction of themselves. And also we've put together a little slideshow with some special images so that you can have a look at what it is that we're talking about here. So over to Thomas and Vanessa.
Hi to everybody.
Hello, Vanessa.
Hi,
Hi.
Vanessa.
Yeah, we are really excited to join this webinar and to present you a little bit more our project in Silves. I think that it has already been quite well explained in big by my colleagues of Ideal Homes. Thank you for that. So this is, for example, one of the pictures that we want to show because we are really embedded into the nature. This is what differentiates us from other real estate properties. We want to keep it in a serene feeling. We want to keep the nature as possible and present as possible as it is right now. Our villas are with completely openable windows from top to floor, so that we can make a bigger space for the outside living. As we have a great climate in the Algarve, we want to put this in front. This is as well in the living room as in the bedrooms, as you could see. We are working with an architect from Portugal. It's in Porto. It's Paulo Merlini, who is really a nice perspective between the Portuguese thinking and the Scandinavian thinking, I would say. It's a little bit a mix of it. That is a design that we are looking for. I don't know, Thomas, do you want to add something to this?
I just
No.
love the way
It's
just-
absolutely stunning. The aspects and the lights are delightful. So, Thomas, what are your favorite parts about this project?
Actually, Vanessa had a good start there because when we first came to the plot, we ourselves actually fell in love with the nature and the serenity feeling there. So from the start off, the architects and also the landscape architects, we gave them the task that we want to preserve that feeling of tranquility after we're done there. So that inspires us throughout the whole project. And for example, the houses, which is not maybe in this visualization well seen, that they are, we're going to have some new materials also to share soon, but they are actually almost all in different heights. So each house has an unrestricted view, and the roofs are actually green roofs. So if we overlook other houses, we will not see. So what we'll see is the greenery from the roof, and yeah, with these big pergolas to catch the high sun with enough shading. But yes, what attracted us was really the location itself. So we all also most of our partners have some unit there, so we are essentially looking for about 140 neighbors.
Fantastic. So this project really is something quite special. And Sasha, could you talk us through from an investment perspective and also a capital growth, what can be expected in the Algarve, what has been seen historically? Could you give us a little bit more information then about what people could expect rental-wise and also investment-wise, capital growth in terms something along these lines?
Sure. Thanks, Carrie. So, I would like to sort of highlight, the compelling reasons why Silves Hills is not just a place to live, but it's a very smart financial decision for the future as well. So if we kind of look historically in terms of property appreciation and the holiday market over the last few years, every year property values have been rising on average, I would say since 2012 by around 8%, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's kind of rock solid. And the reason for this is that the majority of the Algarve, you can't build on it. It's agricultural land, or it's rustic land, or it's designated as nature reserves. Therefore, this means that there's the number of new projects that come along and are being built at any one time, and the current inventory of properties for sale is not nearly enough to satisfy demand, and that kind of drives the prices upwards. If we look at capital appreciation at Silves Hills, it is a projection, of course, but we would expect property values to be rising on average at least the 8% that is happening, is projected for the Algarve over the next few years. So, if you look at over a kind of a 10-year time frame, this kind of translates to a property appreciation of 80% or 100% compared to the original purchase price. So such robust growth is fueled really by the central Algarve's enduring popularity and limited supply of high quality villas. If we then kind of look at short-term rentals at Silves, you can tap into the lucrative Airbnb type market through Silves Hills' professional rental management team, because the holiday market has been growing exponentially. This year, in fact, up until the end of August was the best year ever in terms of holiday bookings. So you can expect probably, and again, this is a projection, but you can probably expect rental yields of between 8% and 10%, if you wanted to maximize the rentals in your property. The Algarve is a year-round tourist destination, which means there's consistent demand and steady rental income throughout the year. So, whether you're choosing to rent out your villa or enjoy it as a personal retreat, the financial benefits are sort of very clear. And I just want to touch a little bit on the off-plan element of this, because we're launching Silves Hills just now. The prices at launch are the lowest they're ever going to be, and you can sort of expect that over the course of the build timeframe, properties were going to be increasing by about sort of 10 or 15%. So if we factor in the low initial purchase price and the ongoing steady market appreciation, you should kind of expect an increase in value between putting a deposit down and completion of between 20 and 30%. Of course, these are projections, so this is not a promise of any kind, but this is kind of what you could reasonably expect. And to kind of give you some examples, because we do sell a lot of projects off plan, a lot of properties off plan. We're particular specialists in that. I want to kind of give you a flavor of the kind of property appreciation that you can get. So we've got a development in Lagos, a very modern contemporary development, lots of facilities, walking distance to the town, and it's composed of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom properties. And it's just been delivered to clients quite recently. So if I give you an example, a 1-bedroom property purchased pre-construction, 216,000, has just been sold now for 310,000. So kind of 24 months later, with a 43% capital appreciation. And when you sort of take into account that the initial purchaser only need to put 30% deposit down at the outset and didn't need to put any more stage payments till the end, you can see that's been a sort of very good investment from his perspective. And then as another example, a 2-bedroom in the same development was purchased at the pre-construction at 310,000, and it's just been resold now just after delivery, 490,000. So that's a 60% increase in capital. Obviously, I'm not factoring in, closing costs, taxes, and so on, but just the sort of the raw numbers. So to summarize, I would say that Silves Hills offers a unique combination of strong expected capital appreciation, and location, excellent expected short-term rental returns, and significant financial benefits for early investors. So that's kind of my summary, if you like, of the Algarve market historically and going forward in the future, and talking about Silves Hills in particular. So let me hand it back to Carrie and John.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha. There will be lots of questions and answers coming up at the end, so we can go all through that. I'd like to pass over to Marissa. She's a lawyer that we recommend, and she'll go through the buying process and the system of buying a property in Portugal. Marissa.
Thank you. My name is Marisa Costa. I'm a lawyer of the international law firm Martínez Echevarria in Ferreira. Here in Algarve, we have 4 offices in Lagos, near Silves, in Vila Moura, Albufeira, and Quinta do Lago. We have offices in Lisbon and Estoril, and 1 in Oporto. So we can cover all Portugal. What we do more are purchase and sales for non-residents here in Portugal. and I will try to explain the purchase process in Portugal. The purchase process in Portugal starts with the reservation of the property. The reservation of the property, it is done with a small amount of the purchase price. In this development, 10,000 euros. This reservation deposit is normally refundable during the period of the legal due diligence, and will tell to the seller that you want to reserve the property. After the reservation deposit, it is possible to do a legal due diligence regarding the documents of the seller and regarding the documents of the property, and start the preparation of the first contract that it is necessary to sign here in Portugal. We call the promissory agreement of purchase and sale, or the promissory contract of purchase and sale. In this contract, we will have the identification of the seller and buyer, the identification of the property, and also the conditions of the deal, the purchase price and the timings for the construction and for the completion deed, the completion of the purchase. Here in Portugal, it is possible to buy the properties in your own name privately, or in the name of a company. And it is possible to set up a Portuguese company to buy the properties, or you can use also a foreign company to buy a property here in Portugal. In terms of documents that are necessary, the documents will be the identification documents and also a Portuguese fiscal number. The Portuguese fiscal number don't mean that you need to change your fiscal residence or that you need to start paying taxes here in Portugal. It is just a document, a number that we need to do purchase and sales here in Portugal, and also contracts. When the construction is ready, when you have the funds in place, it is possible to proceed with the completion of the purchase. We normally set up the completion of the purchase in a notary office. The notary is an independent person from the seller and from the buyer, and will double check again all the documents of the seller and all the documents of the buyer. So I can say that it is safe to buy in Portugal, because when we are doing the preparation of the promissory agreement, we do a legal due diligence and we check the documents of the seller and the documents of the buyer. And before the completion, the notary also checks again the documents of the buyer and the documents of the property and the documents of the seller. You will buy the ownership of the property. It will stay registered in your name at the land registry office and at the tax department. In case you want to buy with a mortgage, the only debt, the only charge, the only mortgage that will stay registered at the documents of the property, it will be your mortgage, because before the completion of the purchase, the seller will need to pay all the taxes and all the debts and charges related with the property. You will only start paying the taxes related with the property after the completion of the purchase. To buy a property here in Portugal, it is necessary to pay two taxes just once: the property transfer tax and the stamp duty here in Portugal. As soon as you choose the property that you want to buy, it is also possible to do a simulation about the costs that you will have here in Portugal. So basically, this is the purchase process here in Portugal. As you can see, with good advice, it is possible to buy a property here in Portugal safely, and without problems for you and for regarding the property.
Marissa, I have a question for you, which I've noticed in the chat. It's come up a little bit. It's in relation to ownership, right? When you are buying a property, what rights do you have in terms of ownership of the property itself?
So when you buy the property, you are the owner of the property, and the ownership will stay registered at the land registry office and at the tax department here in Portugal. You can sell the property. And in case it is a touristic development, you will have also a contract attached to your deed with the terms of the use of the property. But by the Portuguese law, you are the owner and you are free to sell your property.
So to summarize, when you buy the property, you become the full owner. You can sell that property to who you want, when you want, at whatever price you want. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcel. We're going to have lots of questions and answers after. Sorry about that. We've got so many. Anyway, can we go over to Nicholas now on our mortgage department? Are you there, Nicholas?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon to
Hi,
you all.
Nicholas.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Nicholas. Perhaps we can just start off with you kind of briefly summarizing a little bit about the environment for people who want to borrow money in Portugal or on property in Portugal, how easy it is for people to be able to do that.
Well, first of all, once again, good afternoon to you all. It's a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Nicholas Martins. I'm Ideal Homes Portugal Mortgage Supervisor. I've been here with Ideal Homes for almost 2 years, and I have 20 years of experience in the non-resident mortgage market here in Portugal. I worked for 18 years for UCI Bank, specialist in non-resident mortgages, which is part of Santander Group. And I've overwritten more than 100 million euros in mortgages for non-resident clients here in Portugal throughout the years. Now, as Sasha mentioned, it is very easy for you as a non-resident or resident to get a mortgage here in Portugal. The rates are very interesting at the moment. The Bank of Portugal's base rate has been coming down every month. We're looking at very good mortgage conditions here in Portugal, very favorable for non-resident clients to use the bank's money to buy a property instead of using full-term their own fund session.
Okay. And then my understanding is there are basically 3 types of mortgages that you can have here. I mean, they're all interest and repayment mortgages. There aren't any interest-only mortgages, but the 3 types, there is a flexible interest, there's fixed interest, and a hybrid. Can you just explain the differences between those 3?
Yes, of course. Just briefly to summarize. So you have the variable rate mortgages that, as the name mentions, they will be reviewed every 6 months. So your interest rate is made up by the base rate given by the Bank of Portugal plus the bank's margin on top. For you to have an idea, the base rate at the moment is at around about the 3.4% mark, with the bank's margin, let's imagine, of 0.7. You'll be looking at an interest rate on a variable rate of 4.1% at the moment. Then you have the fixed rate mortgages, in which you're able to fix the rate of your mortgage from day 1 until the end of the mortgage term. The maximum term is 30 years. So you'll be looking around about fixed rate, full-term fixed rate mortgages, around about 4.1%. Then the hybrid situation, as you mentioned very well, Sasha, you can fix the rate of your mortgage in time periods of 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years at from 2.9% at the moment. So the rates are very favorable. The rates are coming down. And for an investment like this, honestly, professional advice, if I can use the bank's money at 2.9%, why would I be using mine?
Okay, so in terms of deposit amount that you need to put down, or rather should be the amount that you can mortgage, the percentage you can mortgage, and also the cutoff age limit at which the mortgage has to end its term. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes, of course. So the maximum mortgage term is 30 years. Okay. Maximum age until end of finance is 75 years of age. So there's plenty space, even if you're in your 50s or 60s, there's plenty of space to get a mortgage here. And like I said, 30% deposit. Most banks at this moment do not oblige life insurance as well. So like I said, it's a very favorable time to get a mortgage here.
So Silves Hills is a development which is about to start construction with a 18, 24-month time frame, depending upon what phase we're talking about. How do you, when does the mortgage start? How do you do it, get an assessment and so on? Just run us through that a little bit.
No, very quickly, and not to bore anybody here, there are no costs whatsoever for our mortgage services. This is very important. So mortgage services are free of charge. If you wish to put a deposit now, today, for example, to buy the mortgage, to buy the property, we can do a free financial assessment for the clients, okay, based in what the age limit will be in 2 years' time. We can get you a pre-approval now, okay? And if the factors, the income structure or the debt structure does not have any change until the property, the license is completed, there will be no problem getting the mortgage at the time. The formal mortgage process, we will only start when we know that the developer has requested the final habitation license from the Silves Council.
Okay, great, Nicholas. Thanks very much.
But it is possible to get the pre-approval now. Okay, so
fantastic. So let us hand you back to Carrie and John.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Nicholas. Thank you, Sasha. I hope that's been very enlightening for everybody. That was a great talk on mortgages. And now we're going to go back to Charlie, who's going to be going through some of your questions that have been coming in. If we can't get back to all of them today, we will get back to you at a later date. We'll be going through all of your questions and making sure that we do, one way or another, answer anything that pops up. So, Charlie, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Nicholas and Sasha and Carrie. We have a lot of questions, so I'm gonna, go through them, and I'll try and go one by one, but I'm sure more will come in, so we'll start with what I think most people are probably thinking. So the first question is, which I would probably like to ask Vanessa about, is about the fires in the Algarve. So obviously it's great having all of the nature. I'm sure that you've got sprinklers, like water sprinklers, all throughout the resort, just to protect from fires. Thanks, Vanessa.
Yes, yes, we have foreseen the vegetation that we need to have to make it to avoid it as maximum as possible, and we will have also the water present through the whole plot. But Thomas is more technical on that than me, so I push this to Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, exactly. So we had to, in the design phase, foresee also the necessary measures for countering fires. In addition, we are planting green zones with vegetation to cut the fire risk. And yeah, there was also a question about structures of the houses. So the house structures are out of concrete, but of course our aim is to minimize the risk of the fires along the region. So, and we have water on site, natural sources, and also we are linked to Silves civic need. So in terms of if there would be issues, we have both water sources available.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. A question from Ian: what is the size of the largest property available, including the size of its plot? And he's also asking, whereabouts is the site located? So the largest property size available, maybe I'll ask Vanessa and...
Yeah, the largest one that we have is a 1,100 square meters, but it is a T2 actually, who has the biggest garden, let's say. So it's not the biggest house. The bigger houses have approximately all between 700 and 900 of square meters of the plot completely. And about the location, yes, Silves, it is northwest of Silves. So I know that you must have also the pin that you can maybe share with Ian. Ideal Homes has that.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Vanessa, I didn't see that you already said.
Yeah, I was answering and I stopped.
Yeah, so the buying process of when you want to buy a villa, what would that be like?
Yeah, we have first we have like a reservation fee to pay, and then people have 2 months to think about it. And then the payment structure, I let it actually to Ideal Homes to explain this, because you also have this in your hands.
Sasha or John?
Yes, so basically, once you put down a reservation and you have, employed an attorney, Marissa or someone else, to represent you, then all the due diligence is done. All the relevant property documentation is provided to the attorney, all the relevant contracts and so on. And the contract is drafted. And the payment plan for the resort is 30% once the promissory contract, what's called the promissory contract, is signed. That contract is details in full. It has the floor plans, itemized list of everything that's included in the property. And so it's a comprehensive contract. And you are not signing that until you've worked with your attorney, Marissa, to so that you feel comfortable. If you're going for a mortgage or you're thinking about going for a mortgage, then obviously Nicholas can step in and provide you with a pre-approval, because once that contract is signed, that's when the contract is both parties are bound to that contract. And then within that contract, there's a completion date, a by date, at which the project or your property is scheduled for completion. And it's at that point that the balance is paid in front of a notary, either by yourself, paid by yourself, or by a bank. And that's a very, very simple, safe process in Portugal. It's very black and white. There are no gray areas anywhere there. And, one of the reasons why the Algarve is such a popular destination for people to buy properties is because it's a very safe legal environment. Yeah.
Thank you, Sasha. So we've got a question from Henry. Is it turnkey? So I guess, is it, ready to move in by the time of purchase, furniture included? What is also the monthly condominium fees for maintaining? Thanks.
These are different from the size of the house. If it is a T1+1, then we are at a cost of 235 approximately, until a T3 large, the largest one is 555 approximately a month. These can, of course, a little bit vary, because it's depending a bit on let's say there is a 20% increase or decrease of these prices that can pop up in the future.
And Vanessa, can I ask, concerning those condominium fees, what is included and what is excluded from that condominium fee?
Yeah, sure. The security, the 24/7 security that we have foreseen, the gardening and the maintaining of all the green areas and the common spaces such as the pool and the fitness and all those things, the heating there, the cleaning of everything, the reception. We will have a reception foreseen also 24/7. Then everything for the common spaces, the sports facilities that they keep clean, waste management, internet, optic fiber will be foreseen, by the way. Then some administration and accountancy costs are inside that, and the reserve fund is inside.
So the excluded from that would be what? Personal electricity usage, personal water usage?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And then, taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other question was concerning whether it's turnkey or not. Can you just explain what is included within the property and what is excluded in the property?
I apologize. Turnkey is not a term that I understand really well.
So turnkey means you're opening up the door and you open up and everything is there. So
okay, what is included when you're
delivered? What is delivered inside the property? Yeah.
Okay, the houses are furniture is there. The kitchen appliances are present. The heatings, everything that you can imagine about normal things. The wardrobes are present, and then we have actually furniture packages that we are also proposing to our customers. And it's depending, we will have two colors, a little bit more darker, one more lighter, so that people can choose. But and these packages actually that we will propose, half of that price will be covered by us, and the half we would then ask to our customers to pay. Yes.
And can you
And all the design of sofa, beds, towels, yeah, it's depending on the package. We have a standard package and an all-inclusive package, actually.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing. And just because I saw the question here, just about the services that you offer on site, is childcare included? You have childcare on site?
Yeah, we will have a daycare under the co-work center. We want to do a daycare.
Amazing. There's not a lot of resorts that offer on-site childcare, so
And also the supermarket, by the way, I saw that question too. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the supermarket will also be, we will have an on-site little supermarket. And otherwise, Cali can, or Medicare can also say it's like 2.5 kilometers from the resort. There is a big little and some others. So, yeah.
I think. Eloy, no, the units aren't built already. Could you just please go over again what's the estimated delivery time? I know there's a few different stages, so.
Okay. Now we are starting actually the infrastructure works and the roads. That's before the end of this year. And starting 2025, we will be building 48 first houses. And then, depending on the pace of the sales that we are doing, we will put the other phases in place too. But so the first 38 houses will be built, will be ready beginning 26, Q1, Q2, 26.
Thank you.
The whole project, we esteem that it will be done in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And just to reconfirm, because Mark's asked a question, this is nothing like a timeshare. It's completely freehold. You can sell whenever you want, whatever price you want.
Yes.
Fly screens incorporated into the window, Mark asks. I think that's very cheap and easy to install, so that's not a problem to install fly screens into the large open windows. Transfer tax, Marissa, please. Is that customarily paid by the buyer or the seller, the transfer tax?
That's from the buyer.
Yeah. Sorry, just reading through the questions. Do the units have...
Sorry to interrupt there. So also the other question was, how much is the transfer tax, the IMT? Well, for a touristic development, unless it's changed very recently, it's a flat rate of 6.5% of the purchase price of the property. And then you've got stamp duty, which is 0.8% of the purchase price of the property. If you go for a mortgage, you've got a stamp duty of 0.6% of the loan amount. And then you've got your attorney's fees, land registration fees, notary fees, a kind of ballpark. All of these taxes and costs will be roughly 10% on top of the purchase price of the property.
Thanks, Sasha. Yeah, Kurt asked, do the units have air conditioning and heat? I'm sure they do, as it's a very new and luxurious development.
Yeah.
How far is the nearest supermarket? You're going to have one on site, so that's a bonus. Is the complex protected by security? Yes, it is. How much the monthly cost? That varies. We've gone over that. Property taxes, yeah, 10% or under for the buying costs. Do the individual properties count as detached houses or apartments due to the shared ownership? From Roberto and Ellen. I would say they're detached houses.
Doesn't detached houses.
Roberto and Ellen.
Yeah, I'm reading. I'm sorry. Yeah, they count. Thomas, can you explain that, please? Because I know that. Sorry. Go.
This is we are operating under the vertical property scheme, so they're all detached houses. So means, but they're not separate plots. So you get their separate plot. Your plot is only for you, but we are not forming different cadastral units. It's by legal means, it's like an apartment with land assigned to it, and it's touristic property. I don't know if that answers the question.
Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. Yeah, Roberto and Ellen, yeah, they are individual properties, but I understand what you mean.
Yes.
On the deed, you'll have a section of that land which is considered as yours on the deed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the connectivity setup for internet, TV, etc.? Is it satellite-based, cable, or other? But I don't think it's too important. You can change it, obviously, when you buy it.
Yes, we have optical cable running to the properties, but obviously, if somebody wants to set up Starlink, for example, then they're more than welcome.
From Juiced, are the houses registered as servicios? Sasha can probably pronounce this better than me. In the Caderneta Predial, or as habitual?
I think I understand that question, but I thought maybe Marissa could answer that, or Thomas, if you want to answer it.
Yes, they are touristic property, so you will not have problems with renting them out.
Being a touristic, normally it is registered at the tax certificate, the caderneta, as serviços.
Exactly.
That down payment for the different 3 types of mortgages, is it standard? You know, we can offer up to 70% mortgage.
Yes, 70% mortgage, 30% down payment, correct.
Has the developer built previously in the Algarve? Vanessa and Thomas, you've had certain developments in Estonia and
no, this is our currently first development in Algarve. We have another development already in the pipeline, and yes, so far it's been Invego has been active in Estonia, Latvia, and Finland. So in Algarve, this is we want to make the first good statement and the business card.
And you've completed over 1,000 homes in Estonia and Finland?
Yes, mainly Estonia, Latvia, some parts of also commercial property. We're just finishing the headquarters of Wise, for example, and also some logistics and production facilities. But mainly we are of residential background, so our main business is actually developing living environments, complete living environments, with always a thought to the future's needs.
Amazing, thank you. And I'm going to say this name wrong, so I apologize. Rene Rajol. Please, can you talk about the investment opportunities with rental income and who will be managing the rental pool? Do you have any idea of the ROI, the rental income that someone can expect if they're going to rent out the property full time?
Well, concerning the rental income opportunity and the return on investment, of course, these are projections based on our understanding of the market. But I can talk maybe to, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Rene, Rajul, and Edwards. I can perhaps talk to them more directly on that if they want to reach out to me personally. I'll drop my email in here, and they can do that if they wanted to.
Yeah, fabulous, Sasha. I'm just going to go through a few more questions, and then I think the best thing to do is that we leave our email addresses because there's many questions, which is amazing. We knew that this development would bring in a lot of questions because it's just a gorgeous development, which is quite new to what we have listed at the moment. So I'll just ask a couple more, and then we'll leave our emails. So is it possible to purchase as a co-owner and obtain a mortgage from Lisa? Nicholas, please.
Yes, of course it is. No problem whatsoever.
Fabulous. And as far as property management, can you please provide more details on the fee structure and services offered? So I guess Vanessa and Thomas, this varies with if you use the property, if you don't, the costs for the property management.
Yes, that's
Yes.
that. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Obviously, we want to keep it as liberal as possible for the owners, and actually, it depends on how much you rent your property out, and the operating company who will treat the rentals will charge us a percentage on the rental pool, and which we currently estimate at approximately 30 to 35%. The rest will be for the owner, and inside that split that the operator charges, they take care of all the rentals, the insurance, also, and the towels and all the key services and facilitating it. So this is it's roughly up to you how much you want to commercialize on your property, and if you don't want to at all, then we have means for that as well.
Amazing, thank you so much. And then I'm just going to answer Kim. Where can we reference the plans of the entire development and floor plans for the various units? So we can send out the brochure. I'm sure that someone from Ideal Homes will be in touch with you all, and we can send you the brochure, we can send you the floor plans, all of the documents, and then obviously we'll be getting in touch with you to see if you'd like to reserve a unit or book a viewing trip, and we can go from there. And yes, the colours for the interior you can choose. There's 2 options at the moment, but I'm sure if you'd like to further personalize it, then that can be done. Shall I keep going through the questions? Because there's about 30 more. Or
I think the best thing we can do is we will go in through all of these questions and we will reply to as many as possible. We'll reply to all of them. Anybody who's taken the time to write to us, we'll make sure they get an answer to their question. So another thing that we can offer to you right now is John and Sasha and I actually popped down there a couple of days ago. We spent a few hours in the site and we have an amazing video on YouTube. It's already been uploaded. So it's an on-site live shot that we did down there. And you can see the amazing scenery, you can see the setting, you can see what makes it so special. And you can also have a look at the outfits we turned up in because they're worth a little look. We felt like we needed to be in harmony with nature, and we fulfilled the brief. So the link will be sent to you really soon. It will be put in this group, in the Q&As, and also on YouTube on IHTV channel. So we look forward to you checking out Silves Hills and our outfits.
Well, I do actually think they could be made out of curtains or a 3-piece suite, but I think you've been the decider of that.
I don't think we were very camouflaged, to tell you the truth.
Very camouflaged, yeah.
We were fitting with the scenery.
Right, what to do next? Operators are standing by. They will take your call if you want to get through to us from this webinar. We have a very special exclusive pre-launch on this. It's a discount. So they'll guide you through the units that are available, because some are reserved already, and help you with any more questions, because we have been inundated with questions. And thank you all very much, and we will answer every single one of them. Someone from Idle Homes will also contact you if you want to, but get on the phones. If you're still unsure, you can contact us as well. We do a viewing trip, so you can come over. We'll put you in a hotel. We'll take you to the development. You can meet any of us in person, Marissa, mortgage department, and we can guide you through everything even more. And as we said earlier, there's a 10k reservation fee that is fully refundable. That also goes to the lawyer's account while the due diligence is all done. Then the 30%, say 60 days from there, 60 days on, 30% deposit is paid, promissory contract is done, and then nothing's paid until the completion. It is really a great development. It's a safe, secure way of buying in Portugal. And I promise you, the area it is in is pretty unique, and it is going to be something with great capital appreciation. So
there is one thing, John, that I think we didn't get across that I think is worth mentioning, and that's the fact that the design or the positioning of all the villas have been carefully positioned. So all of them have really nice country views because they spill down the hill. So regardless of which villa you're buying, you're all having good views because
it's low rise, yeah. It's low rise. It's built for nature. Yeah.
And we will be giving you all the information in the questions and answers now for the contact details. So for the email, for the phone number, all the numbers that you need, all the contact details you need will be dropped right into this Q&A box as soon as it finishes, and it should soon be popping up onto the screen. If not, you have all the email info at Ideal Homes. Everything's on our website or through the landing page, and feel free to reach out to us.
And don't forget the YouTube. You have to see the outfits.
And we'd just like to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Charlie. Thank you to Vanessa and Tumas for taking time out to join us today. Thank you to Marisa and to Nicholas. And I've had a lovely time revisiting Silves Hills. Have you?
Oh yeah, it's really great. So again, thank you from everyone here, and we look forward to hearing from you, and any questions we'll answer.
Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.